You know the drill by now. We're doing another 3-leg trip, from Schaumburg to Chicago on the Milwaukee District West Train 2240, from Chicago to Bloomington Normal on Lincoln Service 305, then on Monday back up to Chicago on Lincoln Service 300. We'll be spending Labor Day in Chicago, that's why I'm coming back on the super early train. Unlike some of the previous videos, I'm going to try and document as much of the trip as I can. I'll also be doing some rail fanning in Bloomington as I continue my quest to catch the northbound ZMQG4 as it rolls through, I think, in the evening. I get to Schaumburg about 2:30 p.m. It's a beautiful day, but I'm not expecting any freight. There's something working to the east, but I think it was an I-40 that works out Grove. If it was I-47, we'd have a chance to see it, but again, I don't think it is. At 2:41, 2240 pulls around the corner at Hanover Park, and a handful of minutes later, into Schaumburg.
Now arriving. Please stand behind the yellow line.
It is not very crowded in the middle of the afternoon on a Wednesday, thankfully. We take off right on time. I managed to find the scratchiest and dirtiest window to sit at.
Has authority through the limits of CPN 7142. Okay, past the red board, milepost 16.5 without stopping. Men equipment clear, max speed over.
.2240, we got no manhunt.
Apparently, I-40 was out there and is coming out of Turnberry Lakes right next to Schaumburg.
I-40, this signal is going to have to run time, but you do have permission to open up at Turnberry and proceed eastward. I'll let them know that you're coming back this way with 2 empties for the west yard, and let me know when everything is locked up and restored. Also, how many axles will you be having over?
Normally that's I-47's territory, so not sure what's up with that.
Now approaching Manheim Black Stop.
Pass by the Mars factory.
Next stop, Yellowwood.
Nothing else of note happens on the way in, so we'll pick back up on board Amtrak 305.
Next stop, Chicago Union Station.
We start boarding at 4:50, and even though our train is supposedly only 50% booked, I think everyone is in the same car. It is way too cramped for a 50% full train. We lock the gates and get the clear to leave on time.
Train 305, you're clear of department. One on the platform, okay to depart on time, over.
Roger that, clear of department. 305, we all clear, okay to depart to Union Station. Train 305, here we go, train 26, approach. Approach.
Next stop, Summit.
Train 05, upgrade, clear on air.
While not required, masks are welcome, and anyone needing or choosing to wear one is encouraged to do so.
Train 305, that was a good runner. Good run.
At this time, the conductor will be coming through to inspect and scan your e-tickets. Please have them ready, together with your identification, to expedite the process. We are now departing Chicago.
Train 305, approach Roosevelt, all stop lumber. Train 305, upgrade, diversion clear. Diversion clear. Train 305, diverging approach 21st, let's go, 5-4. And Train 305, head in on 5-4. IDTX 4618 West, entering the Freeport stop at Cermak on a clear. No restrictions for our moving out. IDTX 4618 South, entering the Joliet sub at Bridgeport on an approach. CM91 over. IDTX 4618 South, upgrade to clear at Brighton. Clear Brighton.
ऑब्वियसली अभी ध्यान नहीं चलता है ना। बहुत पैसा था और बहुत बड़ा किलोमीटर हो गया।
Coming past Glen Yard, I'm hoping for a GTW or IC paint job, but no luck. These CN locomotives do have IC lettering, though.
Please take this time to check around your seat and gather your personal possessions before exiting the train.
Coming into Willow Springs, we pass this UP Intermodal. I think this is probably IG4SE to Seattle. It is all international 40-foot containers heading for the Indiana Harbor Belt at CP Canal, and then west across the overland route. We then pass the detector at 17.65.
CN detector, mile 17.65. Main 1 outbound, no defects. Temperature 77 F. Total axles 24. Speed 64. Detector out.
And 30.5.
CN detector, mile 30.5. Main 1 southbound, no defects. Temperature 72 F. Total axles 24. Speed 79. Detector out.
After that, we switch channels for the UP.
Train 305, let's go, channel 78. 78. Roger, 78 with you.
the gap between the train and station platform when exiting the train.
Good and dispatcher, Amtrak 05 coming your way on main 1. Oh, any over.
For your safety,
Alright, syndication, thank you. 05 out.
stairwells in the vestibules at the
Amtrak 05, approach, head safely.
Watch your
Approach.
step. Use handrails when passing between cars, and use caution in the vestibules while the train is in motion.
Amtrak 05, upgrade clear, X036, doors 3 and 4, Joliet.
Thank you for riding
Clear.
Amtrak Midwest.
We're a handful of minutes late into Joliet.
I gotta step away for a second, perfect. Alright,
At this time, the conductor will be coming through to inspect and scan your e-tickets. Please have them ready, together with your identification, to expedite the process.
This is where the fun begins. This is actually the first time I've taken this line since it was approved for 110 miles an hour.
White, Pontiac, Bloomington.
Looks like they've changed the meet point with 318 and we'll meet them on the double track between Hitt and Mazonia. We end up meeting at Braidwood, although I don't get the camera up in time.
Highball 318, you got 2 good markers. I think your engineer's ditch light's out. Over.
I understand. Highball 305, channel clear. 318, clear 55.
Chat 305, approach clear 52, diverging clear X063. Right.
Unless there are any freights, we shouldn't have to wait for anything else. I wanted so bad to get a video with GPS data showing we were going 110, but it's very difficult in the venture cars to get a GPS lock on either the GoPro or my phone, so sorry. You'll just have to take my word for it. As expected though, the venture cars handle the higher speeds flawlessly and it actually feels smoother than 90 felt. The day after I arrive, Thursday, it's gorgeous outside, so I decide to try for the ZMQG4 that I think comes through in the evening. When arriving on 305, I've seen it running northbound, but my attempts to catch it around that time have all been fruitless. I decide to maybe try a little earlier, so I aim to get to Uptown about 6 or 6:15. I'll wait until 305 comes in and see if I see anything. I leave the apartment around 5:45. But before I do, I see on soft EOT that something has come through in the last 15 minutes, but I obviously have no way to know what it was. I start heading to my normal spot, and not too long after, starting to drive, I hear Amtrak 318 on the radio coming into Bloomington on an approach. They then mention that they've been following something for a while and are probably going to run around it. Not long after, they knock down a diverging clear at X124, not the diverging approach diverging Amtrak generally has here. This tells me that 1. Amtrak is taking the entire length of normal siding instead of crossing back at X123, and 2. There's something on the main that would require it to do so. I throw out the idea of going normal and instead decide to run up to Towanda and attempt to get in front of whatever that thing on the main is. If my calculations are correct, that should be ZMQG4. I won't be able to make it in time to catch 318, but I'm not necessarily after it anyway. If that freight is ZMQG4, then it's waiting at X121 and will get a signal as soon as Amtrak clears the block in front of it, and will likely be in a big hurry once it does. I park at a little park on old Route 66 in Towanda. I don't get very far before I see headlights, so I throw the tripod up, and here comes what I suspected, ZMQG4. Friday night I decide to see if I can go 2 for 2 with the Z. I have no leads on it, but I do notice some unusually slow roads around the tracks in Elkhart via Google Maps. 318 is down south of Springfield and 21 north of Lincoln. As I get to the station a little before 5, 21 is in Lincoln, 318 is in Springfield. A little later I see slow roads in Lincoln, so there's almost definitely something coming northbound. X123 is dark still, so they're either going to run whatever it is into McLean siding or up here to X121 again. Not much to do but just sit and wait. About 5:20, the people start flowing out of the station, although 318 is a little late. I see slow roads by McLean, but Amtrak isn't that far behind, so I'm guessing they put the freight in the hole at McLean for 318. McLean is the last siding before Bloomington, so there's nowhere else it could go. Very weird that X123 isn't showing anything at all, though. Normally, as soon as a route is set, the signals in direction of travel light up. 5:30, we get an arrival announcement, and still no lights in any direction. That's weird. It's a packed platform with a sold-out train. A couple minutes later, we finally get lights on the approach lits, and here comes 318.
Attention, please. This is the first and final boarding call for Amtrak Missouri River Runner number 318, en route to Chicago Union Station, with intermediate stops at Pontiac, White, Joliet, Summit. Passengers should proceed to the platform. Please wait behind the yellow safety strip. Thank you for choosing Amtrak. All aboard.
318, diversion approach, diversion 124.
Emergency approach, diversion 124. One more. That'll do.
As 318 sits in the station, the UP dispatcher gives an XH order for a malfunctioning crossing just south of us to a CN unit, although I can't quite hear it on the radio. It doesn't matter though. All that means for me is that we've definitely got a freight coming, and it likely won't be too long.
UP Omaha dispatch 28 to CN 8933 over. I've got a XH that's coming out here just ahead of you. I don't have to have you give me a verbal readback whenever you're ready to copy. Over. CN8933, comply with procedure XH of the X-Ray Hotel at milepost 124.67. Given that the MP 124.67 on all tracks. Over. Correct on the readback. You show that okay time there for 1739-1739. ADM Alpha Delta Mike. Over. That's all correct. Thank you. Over. That's Joe.
At 5:44, 318 is out of here, and now the likely short wait begins.
318, diversion clear.
X123 quickly goes from stop to approach to clear, and now it's just a matter of time. The approach lit lights at X124 never even go dark. Just after 6, we get gates to the south and shiny twin CN power on the head end of hotshot ZMQG4. That XH order has it running slow, however. Satisfied with not only one but 2 catches of the Z train, I call it a weekend. Fast forward to Monday morning and we'll be up bright and early for train 300 up to Chicago. I am not a morning person, so an alarm at 4:45 is not exactly fun. Our train is 50% full, which isn't as bad as the 100% that every other train has today. At 7:03 it pulls in.
Hi, 300, diverging, approach diverging, 124.
time.
We get on board and it's bright outside. I actually forget that this train doesn't stop in Dwight, so after Pontiac, next up is Joliet. Our conductor puts us in the CN system ahead of time, and we may have a little wait before we can get in Joliet.
Hey, 300 over.
Headed of 300 Eastern.
Good TGBO, no changes, no exceptions. Be good by the TD for any updates or changes. Main 1 O&E track, and we're going to be meeting at 301 at UD. Once they're clear, we'll get the signal to the station.
We're going to be sitting there for a little bit.
Roger.
All right, so good TGBO, track 1 O&E, going to meet 301 at UD Tower and UP already know.
That is correct, sir.
All right, thank you.
At Elwood, we pass a southbound IG4 SIB, and they hold us outside of Joliet for 301. They're early, and so are we. Pulling out, we pass this stack train that I can tell basically nothing about, but it blocks our view of Stateville.
All right, 300, looks like we're going to have an all-stop Brighton Main 1.
All-star Brighton Main 1, give them a call.
Yep.
We're going to occasion north on 1 at Brighton.
All right, signal indication north on 1, Brighton, thank you. I guess he forgot to tell you that there was cross traffic.
Yeah, no, he didn't tell me that.
They're not moving either.
Oh, wow.
Maybe that's why I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
All right, 300, restricting Rockwell.
Restricting Rockwell. Hey, Aaron, is it moving?
Yeah, I just finished up.
Roger.
There we go. That's clear. Here we go.
Clear, here we go.
We had a wait at Brighton, and there are two NS stack trains sitting to the south, but you don't get to see that because my GoPro decided to lock up here. Our engineer calls our route onto Amtrak rails.
All right, 300, diverging approach. Cermak, let's go to the home channel.
Roger, first Cermak, going home.
Home channel. On the home channel.
Home.
and we cross the Chicago River. We ultimately pull in about 3 minutes early. And another trip has come to an end. This trip was cool for me because I have long been after the Z trains. Since UP took the ATCS off the air for the Joliet and Springfield subs, I've made it my mission in the limited time I have in Bloomington to figure out the traffic patterns with basically no tools to use, and this was the culmination of about a year of work to that effect. Do I know everything? Of course not. That just isn't possible. But if you build up your toolbox and know how to use it, you can definitely minimize the time you spend sitting and looking at nothing. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. It helps me know what kind of content you like to see here on the channel. I like doing these travelogue type videos, but the opportunities to do them are fairly limited, as you can imagine. You can follow me on Instagram and read the blog. Links are in the video description. Until next time, I'm Tyler, and thank you for watching the Northeastern Illinois Railfan YouTube channel.